Sutanphaa was a king in Assam in the early 18th century. The reign, as per wish of Swargadeo Rudrasingha from his deathbed, he was succeeded by his eldest son Siba Singha. Siba Singha ascended the throne and assumed the Ahom name Sutanphaa. He gave up Rudrasingha's plan to organize a confederacy of the Rajas of Hindustan and to invade Bengal, but obeyed his father's injunction to become a disciple of Krishnam Bhattacharya, the Shakta priest from near Nabadwip in West Bengal. He gave the management of the Kamakyu temple to Krishnam, who came to be known as Parbatiya Gosain. His residence was on top of the Nilachal hill. Siba Singha accepted him as the royal priest and made large number of land grants to temples and the Brahmin priests. After expedition, his long 30 years' reign was peaceful. Only in January 1717 there was an expedition against the Daflas of the northern hills, who had again taken to raiding the plains people. After they had been reduced to submission, an embankment was constructed along the foot of the hills inhabited by them as protection against future raids. Rajas. Siba Singha was a staunch Shakta and was greatly influenced by the Brahmin priests and astrologers. In 1722 he was so alarmed by the prediction that his rule would shortly come to end, that he not only made many and lavish presents to various temples and the Brahmins, in hope of conciliating the gods and averting the calamity, but also endeavored to satisfy the alleged decree of fate by a subterfuge which greatly diminished his prestige in the eyes of his people. He declared his chief queen Phulaswari, who assumed the name Brahmataswari Devi, and the title Maharaja, or chief king. Phulaswari minted coins in joint name of her and her husband, where she used Persian legend, the first of its kind in Assam. Phulaswari was more under the influence of the Brahmins, particularly the Parvati Gosain, than the king had been. It is believed that instigated by this Gosain and in her zeal for Sakta Hinduism, she attempted to make Saktism the state religion. With this objective, she ordered the Vaishnava Gosains to worship the goddess Durga. She then forbade the worship of other deities and personally supervised the act of desecration of the Sonari Junkam. Learning that the Sudra Mahantas were strong monotheists, she held a Durga Puja in the capital Rangpur and forced Murmuria and several other Gosains to offer oblations to the goddess and smeared sacrificial blood on the forehead. The Murmurias never forgave this insult to the spiritual leader, and half a century later, they broke out in open rebellion, which came to be known as Murmuria Rebellion. Phulaswari died in 1731. The king then married her sister Deopadi, and made her the Maharaja with the name Ambika. She died about 1738, and was succeeded by another wife named Enadari, who took the name Sabaswari on becoming Maharaja. Siba Singha erected numerous temples and gave away land for support of Brahmins and temples with all the generosity of a new convert. Shiva Singha was a great patron of literature and music. According to one Buranji, he was himself the writer of a number of hymns. It was during his reign Sakta Hinduism became the predominant religion of Assam. Administrative and public works. Siba Singha is said to have established such an elaborate system of espionage during his reign that he had accurate information of everything that was done or even spoken in all parts of his kingdom. During Siba Singha's reign, the chief public works were the construction of Diali and the tanks and temples at Gaurisagar, Sibsagar and Kalugaon, about 8 miles south southwest of Shivasagar town by the side of National Highway 37, Maharaja Phulaswari Konwari, the first wife of King Sibasngha, built 3 temples, Shiva Dol, Vishnu Dol and Devi Dol, on the bank of a big tank covering an area of 293 acres including the banks. This big tank was dedicated in the name of Gauri or Urga, for which it is known as Gauri Zagar Tank, and the entire place is now known as Gauri Zagar. She also had dug the Borpatra tank at Kalugaon beside the historical Jeringa Pithar in memory of her brother, who happened to be a Borpatra Gohain. During her regime, on the northeastern side of the tank 2 temples, namely Vishnu Dol and Jagadhatri Dol, were constructed on the bank of the tank named as Lakshmi Zagar Pukuri. It was during his second wife Maharaja Ambika's rule the 129 acres Sibsagar tank, Pukuri, situated within the heart of Shivasagar town, was dug. On its banks 3 temples were built in 1734, the Shivadol, the Vishnudol and the Devidol. Many temples were also constructed by Swargadeo Sibasngha in Kamrup, including Shripur Duloi, Balalicha Sri Kale Duloi, Jaipaldan, Basudev Duloi, all located in present Nalbara district. In Suorkuchi he built the Siddheswar Duloi, a Shiva temple, and in Durgaon he also constructed Burhai Goshanidhan. At Aswiklanta, North Guwahati, on the bank of the river Brahmaputra in 1720, Sibasngha built 2 big temples dedicated to Lord Janardana and Lord Vishnu. Sibasngha had the land surveyed in Kamrup and Bakata. The register, or Perakagas, based on the survey of Kamrup, was still used at the time of British occupation. This contained a list of all occupied lands, except homestead with their areas, and particular of all rent-free estates. It was recorded that in 1739 4 Europeans, whose names appear to have been Bill, Godwin, Lister, a Mill, visited King Sibasngha at Rangpur. The king met them at the principal gate of the city, where, it is said, they did him homage by falling prostrate at his feet. Death. Shiva Singha died in 1744 and Pramata Singha, the second son of Rudra Singha, ascended the throne.